Hey guys, Zix here, time for the next episode of Dragon Ball in Minecraft. I don't know why I call it the next episode, this is not an episodic thing, but either way, here we are. We are looking at the Tenkaichi Tournament, the World Martial Arts Tournament. I took a couple of different sources from this one because this was a very, very hard one to get complete source material on. I know that it changes. It pretty much changes with each tournament, but there's a few things that kind of stick with a lot of stuff. Like, for example, these outer, like, L-shaped things, they're only in the original episodes, like the very first time they go to the tournament. Then you never see these again. Technically, there's, like, these stairs down, and then there would be the table to, like, sign up. But I thought maybe that would be going a little too far. I went with polished diorite for the floor, because it's like this tiles. They're like tiles, at least in earlier versions of the tournament. In like the big tournament where Vegeta blows up half the thing, it was like a solid floor, like a mat. But in here, it was like these, like, I guess they were like ceramic tiles, I guess. And of course, this is where the stand, the stand? This is where the crowds are. It was standing room only in the early tournaments, and I kind of liked that, and that's the reason I went with that. I did consider doing the larger tournament that was, like I said, in Dragon Ball Z, but I opted to go with the smaller one. First of all, I wanted to get this episode out this week. Second of all, I actually prefer the smaller, more shoulder-to-shoulder setup than I did the gigantic stands and whatnot. Some of this stuff is impossible to translate into Minecraft. Like, there's these, like, monster heads here. I think I'll try to put up images in the bottom right so you can see what I'm referencing. But I couldn't do that, so I went with it. Whoops. Why would you do such a thing? I might have one in my inventory. Nope. I went with dragon heads instead. Oh, not dragon's breath. Whoops. Dragon head. There we go. And then I used the loom to try to copy the symbols from the very first tournament, and the first two aren't half bad, actually. They look pretty good, but these, I want a little artistic creativity there. And then there's, like, this thing here, this, like, banner that's, like, I guess, blocking the contestants, I guess. I don't know. Then there's this room where they tell, like, who's, like, where the brackets are. I guess it'd be about right here. Again, the source material, not very good for this building. And what's funny is, whenever I watched the show as a kid, I always thought that this is where the preliminaries were held. But watching it more recently, trying to figure out where the buildings are, I realized that this is actually where everyone sat and waited. I think one of these sides might have, like, a table and, like, a kitchen, maybe? But I don't know, because it's very, like I said, the source material, not very good. Out here, this is a very boring area, but that's pretty much all that was here. If you look at the source footage, and once again, not a whole lot going on. Like, these palm trees, if you look at the front of the tournament building, you can see palm trees behind it, but when they're back here, you don't see them, which is a little odd. And then there's these, like, flag banner things. I don't know what the purpose of those is for, but I think they look cool. And of course, and there's, like, another dragon head over here. Let me do that. There's, like, another dragon head over here, but this one was smaller, so I put it in an item frame, so it's not as big. This room is where the actual prelims were held. I actually considered doing, because there's a gong that goes on this wall right here, like where they start, and I tried a few designs to build a gong. The closest I got was with trapdoors, but I didn't like it. It didn't look good, specifically because of the odd number here. And I really wanted this to be 3 wide, not 4 wide. I wanted the building to be an odd number there. And so trying to make a circle, with this odd number, I couldn't get a good looking gong here. So I opted to just leave it out. And then I thought, well, what if I do maps and I make a giant gong, like in the world somewhere, like, you know how people do those, do the map art? And I was like, as much as I'd love to do that, and as cool as it would probably look, I just don't have the time. Oh, no rain. Go away, rain. As cool as it would be, I opted not to do that. Is it still raining? What is that noise? Oh, that's the water underneath. I'm actually on top of water. I picked a spot and then I had to kind of as you can see, I kind of had to terraform a little bit just to make it fit. I'm not too concerned about the area. The area around, but thought it shouldn't just be floating above the water. So I mean, it kind of is floating above the water, but whatever, man. And then these are the mats that you had to hop up onto to do your prelims. And this is about as big as they were, because Kid Goku was about as tall as the mats. And so I kind of tried to measure it out, you know how I talked about that in the Pilaf episode, to make it work. That's the best I could do. But yeah, I mean, it's a small build, but I like it. The roofs are the thing that I'm least happy with. A wooden roof would look better. So the pitch is too high. It's too low. It should be a steeper angle like this instead of like this. But it's really difficult to do that with solid blocks like this and not use stairs. And it's a thatch roof in the show. So I wanted to try to make it look as thatchy. Is that a word? Thatchy? I'm making it a word right now. Add it to Webster. Call Webster and let him know it's a word. Oops. Oh no, that's right. Yeah, that's supposed to be there. I thought I made a mistakey. I didn't. That's supposed to be there. So I went with the hay bales, because I think the hay bales is the closest you can get to thatch. Spruce planks, or not spruce planks, but spruce, this right here. Spruce wood is not bad, for a thatch look. But once again, you're stuck with that, you're stuck with the fact that you have solid blocks. And so I opted to go with the hay bales. But yeah, this is where we're at. This is the build. Once again, there will be a schematic of this on my YouTube or on my Discord server. I don't know if I would call this one of my better ones. I'm happy with how it turned out. But this was a very, very difficult one to translate. But I did look online to see other people's attempts at making the World Martial Arts Tournament, and I gotta say, I think mine's one of the better tries. I did see one that looked better, but he didn't use hay. He used, I think he used dark oak, maybe, or maybe he used spruce. I think he used dark oak for the roof, and his roofs look better. But I think I like my overall build as far as accuracy to the anime goes better. And with that, my friends. Did I talk about this? Yeah, I just copied this over here. Yeah, I didn't talk about this. Technically, there is not a second preliminary hall here. There's a building here, which is once again, very difficult to tell from the source material. There is a building here, but you never actually know what's in it. So I just copied over the prelims, and went with that. And then, if you really want to go crazy, the hotel, the accommodations for the fighters is about right here, and I thought about briefly making it, but once again, I wanted to get this episode out this week, and I didn't think I would be able to get this episode out this week if I went ahead and did that. So I didn't. Also, there's like these trees like on either side here, but I didn't leave myself enough space, and when I tried to put the tree there, it just filled up the whole thing, and I even tried to take a few leaves out, and then it just looked like a weak tree, so I just opted to not do that. Also, you may notice that I'm trying out some YouTube shorts. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do a YouTube short on this one, but if you see another video come out within the next couple of days that is basically the exact same thing as this, you just skip it, because it's just a short of this. I did it with the Emperor Pilaf thing, because apparently YouTube Shorts is becoming a thing. Copy on TikTok's fame, I guess. So I guess it's a good way for people to grow right now. I don't know if I'm as happy enough with this build to go ahead and make a short of it, but I may decide to anyway. But I think that will do it for this episode. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I've been getting a lot of love on this series and on the builds. I think part of that is because the Pilaf build, I think I did a really good job on that one. So hopefully we get a similar, we'll see. I think this is gonna be, now it rains, huh? I think that right there Whoops, do it like that. I think that's going to be my thumbnail right there. I think that's a good little angle. But that, my friends, is going to do it for this episode. Actually, I may make a different Goku, or a different skin of mine to throw it on like fighting on here. I don't know. We'll see. That, my friends, is going to do it for this episode. Thank you so very much for watching. And as always, take it easy.